Great, excellent. Okay. Well, we would first like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which Fireside House stands. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and to all First Nations people of Australia. We acknowledge their continued and unceded connection to country and culture. We call this project Fireside House. It's located in a heritage cottage in Northcote, and the address is on Bench Street, and it's near the corner of Langton Street. It's designed for a quiet, close-knit family of 4 and their beloved dog, Pepper. Both of the clients have country roots, and they spoke to us about some of their favorite memories being centered around a bonfire, sharing food, and conversation outdoors with their families. They have a love of the outdoors, and Stuart is an avid fly fisher, and this is his fly fishing workshop, which is now on the first story of the new workshop. And they're avid cooks, bakers, and pizza makers, with their 2 teenage daughters getting involved as well. It's how they most like to spend time with the family. For them, family is everything, and that's what led us to the design concept of the figurative fireside, being centered on the heart of the home. So in this instance, the fireside is the outdoor fire and pizza oven in an outdoor dining area, a symbol of warmth, safety, food, congregation, and a life of the outdoors. This is a site plan with north to the right of the page, which is the laneway address, and to the south of the page, Bench Street, which is their street address. The front of the house is about respectfully retaining and restoring the existing heritage facade. And the laneway address is about responding to the outhouse and building on boundary context, as well as instating a pedestrian access to the rear laneway with which the clients regularly use for their errands and groceries each day. This is an early design sketch that speaks to, it's quite a simple concept, but I think it's captured well in this sketch. If you can see my mouse, the original house had 2 hipped ends to the roof. So we demolished the hip roof and extended the ridgeline to create 2 gabled ends, and then extended one of those gables out to the boundary to create a 2-story workshop on boundary to the laneway. And that created a space in the center for a covered al fresco dining area and fireside. The front of the house is about celebrating the past and restoring the original heritage character. The cornices, the architraves, trims, ceiling roses, and arches throughout. While the rear is about opening up and expanding the ceiling height, the amenity, the light, and improving the functionality and generosity of the space. This is the plan, and at a glance, the front of the house is the existing sort of heritage structure, external walls, and primarily internal walls as well, with really just a light touch kind of paint finish, joinery, and resanding of the floors. These parts of the plan were modified, and they're primarily the wet areas. So we reconfigured the internal planning, which I'll show you in the plan in more detail in a minute, to improve the functionality for the clients. This is a new study slash sort of flexible space for the teenage girls. And then this is the link between the old and the new, so where the sort of heritage period details really stop and the new language begins. And this is the newer section of the house. The extension is actually only 1 meter to the north, but the sort of structure was in poor condition to the back, so we had to rebuild the structural floor and external walls. And then the new external dining area and the 2-story workshop with the spiral staircase leading up to the fly fishing workshop. So in the plan, you can see the 3 bedrooms face the street, or 2 of them face the street with 1 tucked behind. And then these are the wet areas that were reconfigured to improve the functionality for the family. So we separated out a toilet from the wet area in this bathroom, and then provided a walk-through laundry into the bathroom in this area. So, you know, when everybody's getting ready for work in the morning with 2 teenage daughters, they can all have their own sink if they need it. And then where you see this moment here with the change in floor finish, that's the portal between the old and the new. So we retained the Baltic floorboards to the front of the house and then new hardwood floorboards to the rear of the house, with this sort of portal threshold moment in between. There's an L-shaped kitchen in here, dining room with a built-in bench window seat in here, and then the living room with the full wall of joinery that integrates TV and sort of display shelving. The alfresco dining area with the fireside and the dining table, and then the two-story workshop with the staircase above. This is a good photo of the portal where you can see the bluestone floor finish transitioning from the original floorboards and the hardwood timber portal on all three of the remaining sides. The kitchen and dining area was really about creating a functional and robust kitchen that can wear hard for all of their cooking needs, a place to congregate, to have friends and family, and to share in memories. And the outdoor dining area is really about a place to eat pizza, which is a huge part of what they love and enjoy. And during lockdown, Penny and Stuart and their two girls cooked pizza for their entire street on many occasions. The Penny's sister was the landscape architect for this project, and she brought a lot of value to the project by helping us work through solutions with the levels and retaining that doubled as bench seats, and really brought a lot of value to the landscape. And the clients did the soft landscaping themselves with a focus on edible gardens, which ties in with their cooking. The material palette is warm and robust, with recycled timber floorboards that are top nailed with no glue so that they can be lifted and recycled at the end of their life. Recycled locally sourced bricks, including bricks from the demolition of a chimney that was on site. FSC certified E0 form ply, in situ concrete bench tops with recycled content. FSC certified locally sourced class 3 timber veneer. And locally made bluestone tiles, which was important to Penny that we incorporate that because she grew up in Port Fairy where bluestone is prevalent, and it's something that she has a lot of memories tied to.
1 minute remaining.
Thank you. The fixtures are raw brass with no chroming or anodizing. The house is 100% electric. It's got a hydronic heat pump for hot water, air conditioning for heating and cooling, induction cooking, which was a bit of a journey with the client. They bought a $15,000 gas cooktop in concept design, and it was quite a negotiation to get them off fossil fuels by the end of the project. But Emily was very kind and patient in explaining, the impact on climate change to them throughout the project. And then during construction, actually, they decided to swap, and we were able to get their cooktop exchanged for a $15,000 induction cooktop instead. High performance timber double glazed windows, passive heating and cooling, 6,000 liters of water tanks, 9.6 kilowatts of solar PV, and it's connected to 100% certified green power, so completely off of fossil fuels. And it's a simple but sustainable family home for a growing family. And we've got some quotes at the end, but we're probably out of time, about how they live in it and how it brings joy to their lives.